They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Stop it! You're ignorant.
Hello, welcome back. Sorry, you had a couple of gremlins in the mix there, but we'll play them out a bit later on, so don't worry. You haven't missed out there on... I wonder if you could work out what they were. Two songs there, brief, but I say we should play them later on. But first, as I say, we're going to play our interview with Kenny Killingham from Channel of the Living Dead, which is a YouTube channel. If you search on YouTube for Channel of the Living Dead, you'll find it there. Lots of horror reviews of some forgotten gems, as well as unboxing videos for some horror paraphernalia. Makes it sound like he's opening up like guns and machetes, but it's generally more kind of collectibles and that sort of thing. But do check it out. But I shall get on now. Just close the window to the denizens of the vaults. Oh, it makes it a little bit quiet. I should really just keep the window closed most of the time. That's note to self. I'll fill out a post-it note. Anyway. So this is my interview with Kenny, so I'm going to pass you over to Pablo. Hello, Pablo.
Thank you, Pablo.
Right, okay. Now, I apologise in advance for any kind of audio quality issues, but we'll go from here.
Well, thank you, Pablo. Well, joining me this evening, I have Kenny from the YouTube and website, Channel of the Living Dead, where there's quite a lot of content on there, a relatively new channel, but really picking up some steam, getting lots of subscribers. So, hello, Kenny.
Yeah, man, how you doing, Pablo? Man, it's nice and good. Hello, everybody in England and the UK. It's the first time I've really had any major communication.
Well, that's right. If I'm not mistaken, I'm speaking to you all the way from Alabama. Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay, good. I've got me shortenings of the states and counties right. I was even thinking it was going to be Alabama or Albany, but other than that, I've got no real clue of any geography in the US, so I'll keep that brief. Right, so as I say, it's basically Channel of the Living Dead. From what I've seen, there's a lot of videos in regards to underrated films, the Let's Talk About series of videos you've got, and lots of unboxing of horror content and things like that. But if you just want to give us a general overview of what the channel's about and what it is you do.
Well, we kind of started out with the unboxing thing, kind of build up a little bit of content. And, I collect other stuff anyway, so that was a cool touch. But we're really trying to branch out more into, like you said, like trying to turn people on the films they may not have possibly seen, and just, spread love of the genre itself, man. Like the films we personally love, and try to introduce more people to them for real. There's a lot of good films that people slept on,
Oh, well, I can empathise. That's something that I do try and do very frequently on this show. There's a specific one. I can't remember what it's called now. This is one that'll test me, but I think it's Girly, Mumsy, Nanny, and Sonny. It's definitely those four words, but not necessarily in that order. But it's a British film from 1960 or 62, thereabouts, and it's just insane. It's just something that is very much of its time, but kind of a serial killer-ish family who, just go out and pick up new playthings and like. But yeah, I always like to throw that one out there for anybody who's into it. Oh no, I'll find it.
Yeah, I'd like to check that out.
Yeah, I think it's on YouTube actually, so it's probably available to listen to or to watch. But yeah, so it's great from what I've seen of the channel. It's relatively new. So when was it you started it out?
I started it in late August. So I've been going for like 4 months, but I took a month off too. I was actually, crazily enough, I was about to quit a month and a half ago, and my girlfriend wouldn't let me. She always had faith. I was doing pretty well. But once me and my partner at Mutant Fam hooked up, like my channel hasn't really grown, but the site itself is going nuts. We kind of got the horror community on Twitter and Instagram kind of united a little bit, and we're just feel like we're helping a lot of people out.
Well, that's it. And mutantfarm.com, that's something else I was wanting to talk about. That seems to be like, your own thing, but it's become a kind of community meeting site, so to speak.
Right, yeah, that's a pretty good summary. My partner actually created the site, but I was one of the first people he found, and we just clicked so well together. And I discovered I had kind of a natural promo ability. You know what I mean? So it just immediately we've only been running the site for like 8 days, and we like played a pretty large role, and uniting an online community. So that's pretty cool. Pretty proud of that. We're trying to bring exposure to everybody.
Yeah, well, I think that's something that I've found since starting the radio show is that there's a big community of people who like horror and like to share the word, so to speak. So anything that's there and available for people who have a penchant for the macabre, then all the better. So yeah, it's promote horror, so to speak.
Yeah, the horror community is by far the coolest community I've ever been a part of. In my opinion, like just really good people too. You would think people that are into, like you said, the macabre and just sick, like murder and all that stuff, you would think they would not be such kind and like giving people, man. But they're just incredible. I love being a part of it.
Well, it's just like the politicians and it's always the ones who are the biggest ones who shout out about family values, etc., who turn out to have a dungeon with some sort of leather-clad rent boy in there or something of that extent. So, it's the quiet ones you've got to watch out for. If people wear it on their sleeve, then it's probably a good indication that they're good people.
Right. It's just mind-blowing, man. Like, we're starting to... we've got a couple of good friends in the UK. We're starting to, broaden that way a little bit more. So this was like, I was thrilled when you contacted me. It's right exactly what we're trying to do.
And that's to spread the love.
Right, and we definitely appreciate it, man. We were thrilled to have an opportunity to do so.
No, that's brilliant. Now, obviously, with you having it on, this being a horror radio show, Pablo's Vault of Horror, I do like to ask any guests that I have on just a few specific questions. Starting off with your favourite horror movie, just any specific, just as long as it's your favourite one. It doesn't have to be a big budget or a small budget, just whatever you go to whenever you feel the need for a bit of a horror fix.
Oh man, like you said, my go-to dude is hands down, Romero's 78, Dawn of the Dead. Like, I literally watched that movie 30 times in a weekend, just on repeat. Like, Romero's my hero, basically. Like the whole channel is like basically an homage to him. Like his death affected me horribly. I'm never usually affected by so-called famous people passing away, man. But that really messed me up. So that's my opinion, like the perfect film. Even the campier aspects of it.
Oh, well, that's it. Well, you don't have to talk to me about that. I'm a Day of the Dead apologist. I'm a big fan of Day of the Dead. I'd even put it up there as possibly my favourite of all the Romeros, excluding Monkey Shines. I don't know if you've seen Monkey Shines, but all about a homicidal helper monkey.
Right.
But yes, no, I think for me it's Day of the Dead. Especially, I forget his name now, but he died last year. Played the armed sergeant.
Yeah, you're talking about Joseph Pilato?
Yes, that's the chap. That's choke on him, etc.
His performance in that movie, like, see, you nailed it right there. Because Day of the Dead, really, in some ways, I actually like Day better. But Dawn's just my first love as far as Romero and zombie flicks. But yeah, Pilato's performance, man, was incredible. Like, so over the top.
No, well, that's it, and that's what you need. Now, is there a recent horror that's caught your interest? Is a favorite recent horror of, say, the last few years?
I was kind of digging the new Blumhouse H40, the new Halloween. Like, I thought they did a pretty good job on it. I'm really interested to see what they're going to do with the next two. Like I said, Jordan Peele, he's got some interesting things going on. I always liked his comedy anyway, so it's cool to see what he's going to do in the future. But yeah, I totally got to start digging more into the recent stuff. It's just I said.
Oh, sorry, I was going to say, I think it's A24 seems to be the studio to watch at the minute. Blumhouse, of course, they've kind of done it over the last 10 years, kind of an arc, but it's A24, they seem to have a lot of the, kind of proper creepy, eerie content, like in Midsommar, and I think they put out a few of Jordan Peele's films as well. But yeah, A24 is the ones I've been enjoying quite a lot, their studio.
Okay, I'll have to check into some of that. Like that's one area. I'm more like I'm a 70s and 80s guy, primarily as far as horror goes. I'll check out anything, but
No, well, that's it. I mean, I think some of the classics are just that, and that's one of the go-to areas. I would say, I think 70s and 80s, that's quite the kind of golden age of horror. And the benefit of horror, as is often the way, is that they don't always have to be quote-unquote good films to be classic horror films. Sometimes the schlockier the better. I'm a big Basket Case fan, for example.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Right now, is there any kind of unloved gem? I know obviously you touch on this with the YouTube channel. Are there any unloved gems in the horror canon that you think should get a little bit more attention?
Oh yeah, man, like The Burning. I got two, really. The Burning, that movie really could have been bigger than Friday the 13th had it not been for the, there was it really was written and done before Friday the 13th. They had problems with the release and whatnot. Like, I think that's probably the ultimate slasher flick for real, man. Like, just the way Cropsey moved and stuff, particularly during the canoe scene, and just like the story was great. The way they kind of went against the final girl trope, and just like a lot of things about the Burning were just fantastic. And another one,
Also, I was going to say with The Burning, one of the things, it's like they've been a victim of circumstance. There's the same kind of story with Peep and Tom and Psycho, where Psycho came out the year after Peep and Tom, and when Peep and Tom came out, it pretty much destroyed the career of the director. He was quite a noted director at the time. And then the year later, Alfred Hitchcock did Psycho, which kind of touches on a lot of the same notes. And he was, got plaudits and awards for it. And luckily these days, Peep and Tom is seen as a classic of the genre. But I think the director ended up killing himself in the end. But yeah, it's a shame when something, just literally just due to scheduling, if it had come out a little bit earlier, might have been able to ride that wave that the other film had.
Right, The Burning. I hated it was related with the Weinsteins or whatever. That kind of taints its legacy a little bit, in my opinion. But I wish they would figure out a way to do a sequel or something. We've actually discussed trying to figure out a way to sequelize it or prequel, or you can really do a prequel with that story. But I don't know how you would actually pull it up.
Yeah, well, I think these days, if you make it as kind of like a fan-made thing, a lot of the times, you see a lot of this stuff. What was it? You had Troopers, the Star Wars thing years ago, which eventually got picked up by Lucas. That was a fan-made thing, and you don't have to look too far to find some fan-made films out there. Some of them are quite ropey, but as is the creative process. Now, just moving on to another question here. Now, this one particularly is very important. So, in a world where you've got Freddy, Jason, Leatherface, and Michael Myers, one stays, but the other three have to go. Which particular of that four tier of horror would you pick, and which obviously?
Oh, that's a good one, man. That's a really good one. I've always, Jason and Mike are two of my super favorites, but I've always had a soft spot for Leatherface, man, for real. I'd have to keep Leatherface, I believe. Something about just the grittiness, and their films are so different, Like, the first one's so gritty and has, like, a documentary or almost even, like, found footage feel to it. And the second one's, campy and, like fun, and it's still gory and stuff. And then Leatherface 3, only one I hate is Next Generation. I won't even watch that one. But the third one I think is totally underrated, and Ken Fore's in it. So
it's 3. I was going to say, is it 3 or 4 where he actually dons the hockey mask for the first time?
Yeah, there's 4, but I don't count the Next Generation because it was so terrible. Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger.
Sorry, you took my Leatherface. I do apologise. Yeah. Oh no. Yes. Renee Zellweger and Matthew McConaughey. Yeah. And there's I think Texas Chainsaw 2. There's a story in regards to I think it's the financing of it. It was a little bit ropey, as was the first one. I don't think anybody made any money aside from certain people in the business side of. Yes, but yes, second one. I think the edit of it. I remember there's an edit I've seen of it where Dennis Hopper just kind of goes back to Dennis Hopper about 8 times within a 20-minute sequence with him with the ridiculously sized chainsaw. Just bring it all down, and it cuts back to that about 8 times. So I don't know what they were doing in that editing booth, but it looked like Dennis Hopper was having a lot of fun that day. Anyway.
Oh yeah, I love Dennis Hopper, man. He's always been a favorite. I actually briefly attended Tom Savini's FX school. You know, I ended up messing it up because I was young and dumb. But, you know, I've kicked myself for a lot of years because I was planning on going into, you know, filmmaking and doing FX, but then I screwed that up. And all these years later, I finally thought to do this, and it's taken off like so much better than I would have done in FX. You know, so it was kind of, you know, serendipity, meeting my partner and all this, and a blessing in disguise.
Oh, well, I mean, that's brilliant indeed. I mean, that's one thing I do remember that hearing about when Tom Savini opened the school, and I was thinking, oh, that'd be so excellent to go over there, but obviously a little bit too far afield for me. And I don't think I could get the latex sent over in the post to proper effect. But yeah, one final question then. So I think we kind of touched on it earlier, but remake requests. Is there a film that you think, I know some people bemoan a remake, but I think sometimes there's merit there. Is there any particular film from the past that you would remake now?
Man, you know, remakes have done right, you know, are awesome, like the Savini remake of Not a Living Dead. I'd actually like to see Romero's films, Martin maybe. You know, Martin's a totally underappreciated film. I'd like to see Martin redone, you know, properly, man, with somebody that got it, you know.
No, Martin's a lovely film, and I think I think actually BuddyDisgusting.com, they did their top 25 of the last 10 years, and I think they rated the Evil Dead remake from 2013. I think they rated that as number one over the last 10 years, which is possibly open to debate, but I really liked that. I thought it was kind of like they took something which was much loved and is excellent and can't be touched, but they just removed the comedy element and just did it purely for the horror. And I think it was good for that. And it's kind of much maligned because of that. But I think, you know, when you got Bruce Campbell and the director, Sam Raimi, executive producing, you can't really say that it's, you know, tarnishing the legacy.
Right.
But yeah, I love it.
Well, at least they did something different too, you know. Like, I don't think anybody could have pulled off the camp like Bruce Campbell anyway. So they did right, I believe, going with the more pure horror.
Well, that's it, and I think it may have been recently broken, but they used more blood in that. They used like gallons upon gallons of blood in that, and it did hold the record for quite some time in the end sequence. But obviously, I won't divulge much more, just in case anybody hasn't seen it. Do check that one out. Well, anyway, Kenny, thank you very much for spending time and speaking to me here on Pablo's Vault of Horror. Is there any shout-outs you want to make before I leave you?
I really appreciate that, man. It's exactly what I wanted to do. You know, my partner, he had new across social media, my buddy Video Creep, YouTube, Slinky's Video Pawn and Liquor, Mike's Monster Mask Review, Blood and Gourd Comic, and Bunula TV. Got to get those up there. There's a lot I'm forgetting. Behind the Veil Investigations, some friends of mine in the like ghost hunting community, kind of the paranormal stuff. So yeah, that's the ones I got to get. I'm forgetting so many. You know, we got so many people on board now. I just made a post earlier trying to tag everybody and just, you know, fold it, trying to remember them. So get those up anyway.
Oh, well, that's brilliant, Kenny. Thank you very much for your time. And obviously, everybody check out #MutantFarm on Twitter and Instagram, and obviously go on the website, as Kenny's mentioned there. And I hope everything goes very well with Channel of the Living Dead, and all the success to you, Kenny.
And we wish your show success as well, man. You got a good thing going on, and we're proud to be a part of it.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Stop it! You're ignorant.